And speaking of Disney, many of us grew up watching the classic Disney films from Snow White, Cinderella, and Peter Pan, of course. Well, what if we told you that we have the original inspiration model for Tinkerbell? We are so honored to welcome Disney legend Margaret Carey right here in studio with us today. Margaret, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Tracy.
What a treat, what a treat. So tell us, how did this all happen that you were the original model for Tinkerbell?
Well, it started way back when, and I wanted to just show you this. Tell me, what were you doing when you were 4 years old?
I did not look like that. That was so precious. I did not look like that.
Well, I went to work when I was 4.
That's my
That was
girl.
84 years ago. So I'm still going at it, and I got in our gang comedies, and so I worked with all kinds of television shows and so on. And I was at Fox, and I got a call from my agent who said, "Get yourself over to Disney Studios," which was a big deal. And they're interviewing for a model job for a 3.5-inch sprite who doesn't talk. And we know that you do pantomime. So by George, that's what I did. And I went over, and if I may, you take a look at this, you will see the big camera over at the side.
And that's you. That's you right
me.
there.
And that's how Tinkerbell came out looking just like me, and vice versa.
Oh my goodness.
So,
that is so cool.
it is cool because after all of these years, people still love Tinkerbell, which I adore. They still love our gang comedies, which I started with. I also did The Lone Ranger. I also did the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh my goodness.
I did all of these that people remember.
Oh, absolutely, because they're all classics.
No, it's been a pixie dusted life.
That's the key. She's got the pixie dust. So why were you picked? Were you picked because of your dancing abilities, maybe?
Yes,
or
I
okay.
was. And there was a rumor for the longest time that it was Marilyn Monroe who might be the model. But let me show you why she couldn't have done it. I think Marilyn's great.
Okay.
I worked with her. I think she could have done anything except this. I'll show you why, if I may.
Please.
Now, this is my walk.
Okay.
Not bad, right?
Right, okay.
Tinkerbell's walk.
Nobody does it like you. Nobody does that like you.
Well, that's a ballet dancer's walk.
Ah, okay.
And I hope that if you see the movie Peter Pan again, you will notice that everything that Tinkerbell does in it is as a dancer.
Yeah.
Now later on, Marilyn really worked at dancing, and she became very good at it.
But you were the original. And so what about your facial expressions? Did they take those from you too?
Everything, all the action, they would say, "We want her to do this." Well, the first time that I stepped out in front of the camera, the big 35, on stage 1, we only had one stage at that time, and I said, "Mr. Davis," that's how long ago it was, we call him Mr. I said, "What do you want her to be? Do you want her to be ditzy like Nanny Boo? Or do you want her to be above it all, like Queen of the Fairies?" He said, "Margaret, we want her to be you." And I said, "Gosh golly, I think I can do that." So I gave her personality.
Yeah.
As simple as to say, they had the 2 dimensions of these wonderful drawings by the great Mark Davis. And then what they saw in me was the personality that they wanted, so he directed me to be Tinkerbell, and we became one. We still are. About 30 years later, I was having lunch with Mark Davis, one of the 9 old men of Disney, and he leaned over and he said, "Margaret, you're still Tinkerbell." And I said,
cute.
"Mark, I think that's the nicest thing you ever said to me,
that's
except
so
maybe come to work next Tuesday."
So before we run out of time, you have written a book about your experience being Tinkerbell. Tell us about that.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yes, that's about the way I looked when I was about 19, and I did the work, sort of. And there's Tinkerbell behind her. It's called Tinkerbell Talks. Very unusual memoir because I'm an entertainer. I travel the length and breadth of the country and even over in the UK, and I entertain people.
Okay.
So I wanted this book to be that way, and it's short chapters. I think the longest one is about 6 pages, and each chapter has a beginning, a middle, and a punchline. And they're funny. Like the time that I helped start a riot at Los Angeles City College to keep a communist a student there, keep his job.
Before we run out of time, you have a special event coming up. Tell us about that.
Well, got invited to come to wonderful Sacramento, to Stage 9, to Old Sacramento. I'm going to be there tomorrow and Sunday from 12 to 4, and I'm going to be signing, I'm going to be giving hugs. There are photographs. We're just going to have the best time. You can ask me any question, well, most any question, when I get there, and we could giggle and laugh and really say, we love Tinkerbell. And I will show you how to do a Tinkerbell spreading pixie dust.
Oh. Ooh, fabulous.
With each other.
You can learn all about that at tinkerbelltalks.com is your website. And there it is. There is the website. You can learn more about Margaret there, and also be sure to check her out at her special event.